So I wanted to do a quick video on something maybe a little bit different than my usual videos. And the point may not so much be a sort of a standard point, but more maybe a perspective is how I hope that, you'll see value out of this. So for a long time, I've been saying that one of the things that Americans love to do, and I know I'm not the first person to say this, is complain. And complaining, literally what I don't think Americans realize is complaining is a luxury. I mean that sincerely, by the way. It's a luxury that not every country gets and not every culture gets. I've been living here in the US my entire life, and I'm saying we, I'm not just saying, you or others. We as Americans really complain about everything. We complain when it's too cold out. We complain when it's too hot out. We complain when it's raining. I mean, guys, if it's your wedding day and it's raining, then I get it, complain. But, Mother Nature doesn't owe you anything, okay? So, maybe you shouldn't complain when it rains, unless it's your wedding day. Then I think you have every right to. And even though I've been here my whole life, I'm fortunate enough to have been to China at least so far 80 times for my my business career. So I have a lot of, nice international exposure, as well as other countries, as well as my other career in teaching. I've had a lot of students, a lot of former students from pretty much all parts of the world. So one of the most baffling for me is, so when you're working in an office here, wherever it is, New York, San Francisco, LA, doesn't matter, Boston, whatever, in the summer, and this happens often, by the way, people actually complain that it's too cold. And it's just so funny because I've been in many China factories where, they're making, the stuff that I've given that factory, they're making it on the line. The general manager's office has air conditioning, but those workers in the middle of the summer in southern China, it's really hot, okay? And they don't have any air conditioning. So we literally complain that the air conditioning is on too high, whereas they have zero air conditioning working in the factory. And by the way, in case you didn't know, most Chinese workers, factory workers, after they're done with their shift, they live in the dorms. So, and there's no air conditioning in the dorms. So they never get exposure to that. And, we complain about the exposure. Now, if you're thinking, well, Al, but that's one of the beauties of living in America. We don't care about that kind of stuff. We don't live in places like China. That's too bad for them. Well, I don't necessarily think it's about communist versus not communist. There might be a little bit of that going on in various parts of the world, but only a little bit, I think, is really kind of responsible for that. I think it's more of a cultural thing than anything else. It has nothing to do with, a particular form of government per se. And hopefully I can prove that to you, maybe just a little bit. So other countries, other European countries don't nearly complain as much as we do. And for example, take the Irish. I have known a lot of Irish people, throughout my life. And Irish people, compared to Americans, complain very little, almost not at all. Irish people don't think that they are special. And I don't mean that Irish people are not special. What I'm saying is they don't have the type of ego that we as Americans do to think that they're so special about every little thing, and therefore they get to complain about every little thing, okay? So in Irish people, this is very much a Western developed country, okay? It's not Asia, it's not the East, it's not communist. So, for those of you who may have been thinking that, sorry, I really kind of have to respectfully disagree on that. But we really do here in the US, we complain about every little thing. And what my suggestion would be is maybe we should try and stop complaining all that much about everything. Complain about the important stuff, complain about the good stuff. If you saw the value in this video and a little bit of what I was trying to, say here, and if you got a little bit more perspective, I really do think if we all complained a little bit less by looking at this from not our lens, but the lens of, other people around the world, it would actually make us better people. And I know that's a crazy thing to want, right? People to actually improve and to become better. But it's still a hope of mine that I'm not willing to give up as much. So send me your comments and questions, and each week you'll get a chance to win a copy of one of my books. Your choice, either my book on presentation skills or business writing skills.